Hello and welcome to Mobile Testing YouTube channel. This is going to be a series of videos in which we are going to learn how to use AWS Device Farm with Appium Python. So I'll show you demos of both iOS and Android applications. So let's get started. To begin with, I have created a small project from the sample code which I got from the Appium GitHub repository. I have made a simple script. I'll explain what it is. So I'm going to use the sample app, test app, which comes with the sample code from Appium GitHub repository. So I have a setup class and so the setup class takes care of the desired capabilities, booting up the device, all those stuff. So let me show my desired capability. So I have given the platform name as iOS, device name as iPhone 7, automation name XCUI test, and the platform version is 10.3. I have given the test app path. So my desired capabilities is set. I'm importing this desired capabilities into my test script. So the first line does that. I do desired capabilities dot I'm importing this method, and then I give a remote WebDriver session. So then the def populate is a small method. It is not a test case. It is just a method which calculates the sum, and so this test UI computation is the test case, actual test case. So it is importing the populate method, and then it does small calculation inside the app. So to begin with, let's run this sample test case in the Mac system and ensure it is working fine before we move on to AWS Device Farm. To do that, I have already started my Appium session, Appium server in the terminal. Now let me run the script. So I'm using PyTest. So you can see I have opened the simulator. You can see the test case running on the right side in the simulator. So the test app opens, then it inputs some random number and computes the sum. So this shows our test scripts are working fine in the local. So let's get started with setting up the AWS Device Farm. There are some initial steps which you should do before uploading your test scripts to AWS Device Farm. So in order to run your test cases in AWS Device Farm, you need to supply the application.ipa file or .app file. Then you have to provide all the packages which you are going to use. So since we are using Appium Python Client, we should supply Appium Python Client wheel.whl file, then PyTest, then Selenium. This 6 takes care of Python 2 to 3 transition, and Py. So to do that, I'm creating a virtual environment. So let me do that. Virtual env. So what I'm trying to do is I'll create a virtual environment, install all the packages, then create a zip file out of it, and then upload that to AWS Device Farm. So I'm going to name this as iOS AWS iOS. So I've created my virtual environment. Then I'll change my directory to Then let me activate. I have activated my virtual environment. So now let me install all these packages one by one. So I should install pip first. Just give me a second. I had a small issue with my virtual environment. I cleared it off. So let's continue. So I need these packages. So let me install one by one. Pip install PyTest. So most of these packages are already set up in my system. So I'll just move forward to the next step. So we should create a requirements.txt file and provide all these details over there. Let me close and reopen my project. Yeah, so I'll right click, create a text file, requirements.txt. okay, and you should remove all these text prior to this. That's all, you are done with it. So if you want to specify the version number, let's get the version numbers. So it is 3.0.7 equal to 3.0.7. Appium Python Client, I already knew it, so it's 2.4. This is, I have to get that. Selenium is 3.6.0 equal to version of 6 is and version of 5 pi finally. Version of pi is 1.4.33. If you have latest versions, please install them. As of now, I am moving with these versions, so I have created the requirements.txt file. Next thing what you should do is you should go to the project directory. So this is my project directory, AWS iOS. So my test scripts are in this folder, so I'll copy them to this virtual environment. So these three are the files. I'm getting inside this and pasting it over here. Then what you should do is create the WHL equivalent files, and for that you should run this command pip wheel. So when you list out the full ls, you see all the new files. Just run this command. I'll paste the commands in video description, please check that out. Pip wheel -wheel -dir wheelhouse -r requirements.txt. So we should first install the wheel package, pip install. Let's do that. Okay, so now let's rerun the same line again. As you do that, you see a wheelhouse folder getting created. Yeah, we are ready to move to AWS side. Before that, let us just check what all tests you have in this folder. ls okay, pytest collect only tests. So since we don't have any test directory, it says, it throws that error. So there is a name, a standard for AWS Device Farm, which is, you should have your test scripts inside this folder test. Then you should have wheelhouse folder with all the .whl files, and then you should have requirements.txt, and these three should be zipped together. Let's create a new folder and name it tests. Let me drag and drop these files inside that. Test sample requirements.txt, and actually requirements should be outside. Let me clear it off from here. So now we have these three directories: tests, wheelhouse, and requirements.txt. Let me also ensure like you don't have any cache files or pyc files. So then right click on requirements, just hold command requirements test and wheelhouse, right click and click on compress option. You get a archive.zip file, rename it to test_bundle. In the next video, let's see running this test bundle cases in AWS Device Farm. Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel.